Hey guys, John from Lowrance and welcome to the Lowrance YouTube channel. On this channel we will be bringing you weekly updates on how to get the maximum out of your Lowrance. Remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification button. Today we're in-house at the Lowrance HQ shooting some videos for you guys to help you with your setups and any information that you might need from a Lowrance product. The first video we're going to do today is how to set up a basic Fishfinder. So now you've done all your research, you've purchased the unit and now you've put it on the boat. So what's next? So I'm just going to go through a couple of settings on the unit, what to look for, which settings to change, why we're changing it and what it will do to the unit after we've changed it and how it will benefit you. So we're going to go to Sonar screen, bring up our full Sonar. We're running in simulator at the moment. So the first option we get is the fishing mode. So you're obviously going to be doing slow trawling, or you're going to be bottom fishing, or you're going to be in freshwater. Depending on which area you fish, this is where you select it. For now, we're just going to do a general use, fishing offshore. Frequency. So for the frequency, we've got fixed frequencies at 50 and 200, and then we've got the dedicated chirp as well. So depending on which transducer you purchased with your unit, this is where you're going to set it up. So our general fishing frequency to look for thermoclines and fish targets in the water will be 200 kilohertz. Sensitivity we leave on auto. Obviously, depending on the water clarity and the density of the water and what's in the water, you're going to have to adjust the sensitivity minus 2 or up to, depending, and just to get a nice clear screen. But for default, it's on auto 0 to get the best possible picture. Color line we generally leave on 76. Obviously, if you see when I move it down, we lose a lot of definition on the screen, so that's not something we really want to play with. 76% is your default, gives you the best fish targets and the best bottom definition. On the advanced, we're going to go noise rejection is low. So if you've got cables running past any electrical interference, this is where we're going to adjust it. So if your transducer cable is running with your wiring loom and you are getting a bit of interference, this is where we play. So we've got low, medium and high. Generally I leave it on low if there's not too much interference. Surface clutter, this is the bar that runs on the top of the screen. We generally put that on medium to take away a lot of the clutter, but we don't want to take away too much because we don't want to lose the fish targets for fish that are sitting just under the boat. Ping speed we leave on maximum because we want as much information as possible. Scroll speed we leave on normal. If you're trawling a bit faster and you want to increase the scroll speed to catch up with the speed that you're traveling, you can do that. Just be aware that it then stretches the fish targets on the screen, so you won't be seeing a nice full arch. You'll be seeing a long line running on the screen instead of the arch, because now we're taking the processing power from the sonar and we're just speeding it up, so whatever you're getting is just being stretched out. So leave the scroll speed for general fishing, just leave it on normal and then you won't have any issues. The manual mode at the bottom of the screen, that's for when we want to set targets. So if we have a standard 50-200 kilohertz transducer and we're in 600 or 700 meters of water, that transducer will definitely not read that depth because it's not capable. But what we are capable of doing is setting it onto manual mode and then setting a range for the transducer to ping at. So I can set it to the first 100 meters of water and it knows how long to send that pulse down to the 100 meter mark. So I don't necessarily need to track the bottom to be able to see what's happening in the first 100 meters of water. I just need to change it to manual mode. It's very important that if you want to do that, that you change to manual mode, because if you take the manual mode off, it will try and find the bottom, and if it doesn't find the bottom, it won't give you a reading. So when you're at your transducer's maximum depth and you still want to see what's in the top 50 meters or top 100 meters of water, that's where you'll go and change it. From there we move on to more options. As a default on the general use, the color palette will be number 1. I'm not a big fan of palette number 1 because you can't see the difference between fish and structure holding at the bottom as they are the same color. So we've got a palette number 13, which is a bottom tracking palette. Just take this off manual mode. So now you can see that the bottom is brown, and anything suspended off the bottom will be a different color. Or what is part of the bottom, if it's structured like the tree, you can see there's a tree going up. There's a lot of color in it, so there's a lot of oxygen in the tree, in the water, and then obviously a lot of fish targets. So this, you'll be able to see the difference between what the bottom looks like and what's holding on the bottom, whether it's structure or fish. From a transducer perspective, under your second menu under Sonar, we'll go into installation, and then we'll go, the most important part of a Fishfinder installation is telling the unit which transducer is plugged into it. Without that, that's like having a 60-inch TV with a satellite there, but you're not plugging it in, you're using bunny aerials. So you'll get a picture, but it won't be the best picture that you possibly can get, because your unit doesn't know what transducer is used. As the years went on, we started introducing XID into the units, which is an automatic identification for the sonar. So the latest models will all have XID, which means the unit will automatically pick it up. But if it doesn't, this is where you go in under transducer installation, and all the transducers available from AMR or from Lowrance is on the list. Now, a very important part is specifically on the HDS that we get a lot of phone calls for. If you focus on the back of the Fishfinder, you'll see all the plugs at the back. These little two plugs here are sonar. We've got a blue sonar port, which is channel 1, and we've got a black port, which is channel 2. Generally, we use that for dedicated chirp transducers, so that we have a dedicated low and a dedicated high frequency. But most of the time, the transducers that come with the units have black plugs on them now, which we call exonic. And for some reason, people think color goes on color, so they plug the transducer into the black port. Now, by default, the unit will select channel 1 as the internal source. So just remember which port you have plugged it into on the back of your HDS. If you're running a single frequency transducer, just remember blue is channel 1 and black is channel 2, and this is where you go and change them. Under the sonar setup, make sure that the internal sonar, this channel that you have selected to use, there is no incorrect channel, but you can use both channels. Just make sure that you select on the screen what channel you're running. So you'll be under pages, settings, sonar, and then look at internal sonar. Make sure that the transducer plug and the channel which the transducer is plugged into corresponds. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe and comment below if there's any videos you would like me to make you understand your Lowrance better.